Okay.
Live.
Woo!
Kind of.
Ish.
All right, here we go.
Live-ish.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Nick and I are here still talking Big Brother. The season has ended, but has not ended for us.
Yes.
Because we've got access to a bunch of fantastic house guests that were inside the house the entire time. Although our guest today was outside, and then he came back inside.
We had a chance. We had a chance.
The rock star dentist, JohnnyMac. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
All right.
How we doing?
Yeah. Have you had a chance to jam, or have you had a chance to jam with the band? I saw what you had your drum set there. And are you fully back in your regular routine now? I can't imagine you are.
I'm working back on my guitar right now. There's still a lot of other stuff going on. I'm really bad after being away for 3 months, so there's nothing that's ready to go yet. But yeah, I have her back out, and I don't know.
I thought maybe you were gonna pick it up and play a little something for us.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can do the air guitar right now. I don't have anything that I actually want to show with the other stuff.
Hey, totally cool.
I'm working on it.
I saw the drum set back there. What kind of drum set is that?
That's a Pearl drum set. That's my brother's. My little brother's. He's the drummer. I'm not. It was just sitting there though. Yeah. Nice Pearl drum set there.
How soon before we're going to have like a JohnnyMac fronted band that's traveling the country?
That'd be sweet.
Playing music, yeah.
OTAB could come in and sing about
I can't wait till you guys put an album together. Plenty of downloads on iTunes,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, okay, you obviously are big into music. You're a dentist. That's rock star dentist. That makes sense. How did you go from being the rock star dentist to being on Big Brother? Like, how did that come about?
So I started watching Survivor season 2 however long ago that was. Then I started watching Big Brother because it was like, oh my God, it's Big Brother, or it's Survivor, but it's in a house. So I gotta try this out. I started watching that season 8. I went back on YouTube and watched 2 through 7 because I heard 1 wasn't that good. So I've never seen season 1, but I've seen all of them besides that. And then after a while, I was just like, I think I could be on this show. I think I could do pretty good. So I started making an application video and I applied for season 15. This schmuck gets on instead of me.
All right. Yeah. And I wasted that, key ceremony. I got on there and boom, gone.
You could have been on 2 weeks, JohnnyMac.
Yeah, it could have been me. Yeah, that would have been terrible. Thanks for taking the bullet.
Worked out much better for you this season.
Yeah.
It was this guys, trust me.
Yeah, so I got interviewed 15, I got interviewed for 16, and then finally 17, I sent in another video, and it worked. So
we were like, I got to do things different now in this video. I'm going to go out to like a beach, and you think like, man, my first couple attempts didn't work, and you tried something different, or you just wore them down to the point where they were finally like, come on the show.
No, the video worked every time. So between the first and second year, I kept some things that were funny, new stuff had happened. I always keep my phone with me in case something weird is going on, and that usually does happen. So I could get that on into my video. Like on my second video, I got caught in a flood, and I put that on my video. And then this year, I did some canoeing stuff, and I was at a baseball game yelling dumb things. So that was on there, but I don't think it was the videos. The videos always got me an interview. It's like the interviews going forward. It just seems like you're either what they're looking for that year or you're not.
Sure.
Now, were you out in Los Angeles for the second round for 15? Like, were you on lockdown?
No.
Okay.
No. This was the first year that I made it that far. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because as you know, Johnny, JohnnyMac, J-Mac. Wait, do you go by Johnny or
That's a good question.
J-Mac? What do you actually go by?
I go by JohnnyMac, my friends. My parents call me John, and then my patients call me Dr. McGuire.
Do they have to say that voice too, or do you make them talk like that?
Yes, you must talk like this. It's an interactive appointment when you're there.
Wow, that's pretty. That is awesome.
That's not for real.
Now, during the show, they would show your dentist office, and we saw you on on season 17, and we've heard from a couple different people, like, oh, he was like this with me, and then when they showed the dentist office, they were like, that Johnny Mac is not the Johnny Mac that's in the dentist office. So who is the Johnny Mac? Can the real Johnny Mac stay Eminem style? Like, who is, out of all the Johnny Macs out there, which one do you think is you?
They're all me. Like when I'm out in the house or like when I'm at work, you gotta be professional. Or I was in the house, I didn't want to be like Jace. I wanted to be a little quieter, and so you just turn on professional mode, and then everything's okay. But in the diary room, that's a lot of the things that I'm thinking in my head. It's just letting it all out.
Dude, I would have to say your diary room sessions is probably what made people come back to Big Brother 17 week after week after week.
Yes.
I mean, they were just like astoundingly authentic, and I think that's why people were just like, man, this is great. I will watch this.
I feel like there are some house guests that are conscious of the fact that they're on national television and trying to be entertaining, and then there's other house guests where it seems like they're oblivious. You seem like you were somebody that understood that you kind of had to make this a little bit of a show, right?
Yeah, you have to. Like, you're not going to watch someone that's just sitting there muttering boring things about strategy all the time. That's boring. You got to be explosions and fireworks and stuff. That's what you want to see. You want to see the raw emotion coming out.
If he had only made it to like the final two in the house, there would have been a car chase and explosions.
Yeah, explosions, guns everywhere.
Dude, you are perfect for Hollywood. I don't know how you don't have like a Hollywood prop special effects job out here.
Michael Bay needs to hit up Johnny Mac for his next movie.
It was so simple. It'd be like, man, we need to go bigger. Who could do this? Johnny Mac.
We need more big. No stopping. Just go.
Now, you kind of mentioned it actually right now about strategy. Now, did you have a strategy going into the house?
My strategy going into the house, I mean, no. I figured I was good at reading people from, like, work, because I work with people who are paranoid all the time, and just kind of reading body language, try to set myself up, try to, like, hedge everything. I didn't want to get too tight with, like, a large group of people, especially if they were really bad at comps, and then I would be the first one to go for that. So, I wanted like one or two people that I could trust all the way to the end, and I found those people. They got voted out, but I found those people. And once that happened, I just kind of had to adapt and try to blow up the rest of the people that wanted me out of the house at the end. And I got a couple of them out, so.
Yeah. And you mentioned that you were a fan for a number of seasons. What was it like being a fan? And then what was it like being in the house?
When you're a fan, you're sitting at home, you're like, these people are so stupid. Why don't they see what they have to do? And then when you're finally in there, you're like, wow, there's a lot of information I don't have. I know that it's being exchanged because you see people like going and hiding in certain rooms of the house, but you don't really know what they say. All you can go off of is how they're acting towards you. Do they look like they're lying when they're talking to you? Stuff like that. Or can they look you in the eyes? Like really easy stuff like that. And, it's a lot harder to play than it is to watch. That's for sure.
Now, speaking about like doing the thing that, as the viewer, everyone's like screaming and ripping their hair out. No, just do this and that and the other because they have all the information. Was there any point in the game where you realized that you have to get out Vanessa? Because if you don't, you're going down the tubes.
Yeah. And pretty much my philosophy going into it was like, people were wearing all these HOHs out of paranoia, and then when it came time for them to put people up, they didn't have people to put up because they didn't want to take anyone off. But it's like, you got to win HOH when you actually have someone you want to take out of the game. And the time, my first target was Vanessa. Like, I really didn't want to take anyone out for the first couple weeks. When I finally did want to win an HOH, my target was Vanessa. And I'm trying to think, we had On the Edge, then... The first time I wanted to win HOH was the first double eviction.
Yeah.
And then I tried to win HOHs after that. It didn't pan out. But yeah, Vanessa was my first target. So I would say around the first double eviction was when I really wanted to win. And I think the time when I just finally stopped trusting her completely. Like, she had done shady things to begin with. She had thrown me under the bus up to this point, but there was one night, Steve and I are down in the hammock room, Clay and Shelly are out back, everyone else is upstairs, so there's 8 people upstairs. It's very quiet up there. Something's going down up there. I don't know what it is. Then they start coming down. Vanessa comes into the room with me and Steve, and we're like, hey, is there anything we should be aware of? And she's like, oh, no, we were just talking about girls, stuff like that up there. We're like, okay. And then the next morning, we're locked in. Clay and Shelly are in the bathroom with Vanessa, and I just walk in, and they were doing some game talk, and then they try to bring me in, and then Clay and Shelly kind of trust me at this point, so they're talking to me about, like, the plan. And I'm like, what is the plan? And then Vanessa's like, I think it's that they, like, as in the Goblins, Austin, the twins, will take out, after they evict Clay or Shelly this week, they will take out the other one, and then to me, she says, like, and they'll put you and me up next to each other. I'm like, oh, okay. But walking away, I'm like, why would they tell you, hey, like, part of the plan is to evict you, Vanessa, in that 8-person meeting upstairs? It just doesn't make any sense. So I kept this to myself for a while. Then Vanessa finally, that's when I want to take Vanessa out of the game. I know she's working all the sides there. She's, like, trying to make us get angry at them angry at us. And so I actually want to take her out of the game at that point. And it's funny because the next week she's like, okay, so I'm gonna trust you with some information now, because Becky then had later confirmed me the plan. Now, after Becky had confirmed that to me, she's like, all right, so there was an 8-person plan. I wasn't involved with it. I was just pulled into the room, and they made me swear on it. I was like, I just let her lie to me, and then later she tried to tell the story to me again. I'm like, Bessie, you told me this 2 weeks ago. I've had it. And she goes crazy, and then yeah, we're like arch enemies at that point.
We're here with JohnnyMac pulling a huge curtain back on a lot of stuff. That was fun to hear that game talk. Now, have you been able to, what are your thoughts on Vanessa? Have you been able to, as a fan of the show, kind of see her as a player and respect the game that she played? It seemed like during the show and a lot of your diary room appearances that you didn't like her. Was that not liking the player, or was that not liking, the game, I guess?
No, I like her as a person. I like her as a player. I didn't like her because she was opposing me for most of the time there until we linked up and had an alliance for a couple weeks there. But yeah, the only reason I didn't like her was because she was a force coming against me. I didn't like that. So yeah, even when I got voted out, when we were doing our little jury thing at the end there, I was trying to, like, campaign for her. Like, my hierarchy was going to be her, Steve, and then Liz as to who I would vote for, depending on who made it to final 2 there. So, yeah, I wanted her to win at that point. When she took me out, I was like, I would have done the same thing to you, so I can't really be mad.
Yeah.
I feel like there was really good, like, mutual respect between you two. Like, as a viewer, at least, we saw that. We saw that there was, like, hey, look, like, I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
And speaking of, going out of the house and coming back in, you actually went out of the house and came back in.
Almost went HOH coming back in the house, not just back in the house.
Now, do you think that helped or hurt you post leaving and come back again?
Being evicted, did that hurt me? Or?
Like, well, yeah. Did being evicted
hard-hitting questions hurt you?
But, like, actually leaving. So, like, once you left, do you think that the game sort of took a different track without you, even though it was for like a split second? Do you think that left a mark that was hard to, I guess, come back from?
Yes, because everyone noticed I was getting called to the diary room a lot all season. And that was just because I was nominated a lot. I wasn't a twist or anything, but the paranoia gets to people and they start thinking crazy things. And I walk out the first time. Apparently the audience noise made an impact on them, and then they started coming up with more theories about me. So that part hurt me. But before I left, I pretty much broke down my game to Vanessa. I was like, listen, this is why I hate you. This is everything you've done that I've been onto, and she's still lying to me. But I'm like, you know what? I don't have anyone else in this game, so if I come back in, I'm ready to work with you. So by the time it was just her and me left on the ropes there, I was like, I don't even need the deal that she's offering me right now. I know she's not going to come after me because I think I did a good job last week of making her feel like she was on the bottom. Like, I told her about Steve's move to kind of kick her out of the Scamper Squad. Meg and James are kind of hanging out with Austin, the twins a lot. Like, she does feel alone. She's not going to come after me.
Yeah. And like you also threw a lot of vetoes here over the summer. Was that a strategy you had thought about at all, or did it just kind of fall into your lap and then you're like, I'm going to be the veto throwing guy this season?
Yeah. I won a good amount of vetoes too, but I lost them. The first week, Nova Scotia, I didn't need that one. I was safe, so I win that one. That was no. And then the second week, last laugh, we had no idea what that twist was. It could have been anything. Clay and Shelley are telling me they're safe. I don't even trust them at this point. I just don't feel safe, so I'm like, I have to win this veto. I have to pull myself off. Week 3 was the dice, the Gronk and everything. I didn't even know who Gronk was, but apparently he's a cool guy. So that week, I wanted Audrey out. I'm like, yeah, I'll win this. This is good for me to stay off. And I'm still, Vanessa's doing this weird Jeff thing. I don't know, afterwards. So I was still sketched out at that point. Then what was the next week? 90s, Saved by the Smell. Saved by that week, everyone wanted Audrey out. Like, I did not need to win that veto. And Vanessa is really, really smart. If we had to go like for rounds and rounds and rounds, trying back and forth, memorizing that thing, I didn't want to show my cards at that point. Once Meg went out, I was like, all right, as long as they beat Meg, I think people will think, okay, you did good enough. You're not. It doesn't look like you're throwing it at that point.
Yeah, talk a little more about the twist, Johnny, because we kind of talked a little on the show about some problems with the Battle of the Block, but then there was you mentioned the BB takeover with Gronk, Kathy Griffin, and then that kind of died all of a sudden. Like that sounded like something that was going to keep going. What was it like being in the house, and what are your thoughts on those twists? Were they good twists in terms of like just the gameplay and the entertainment, or did they fall flat?
Yeah, I didn't like Battle of the Block last year. I was angry when it went like 3/4 of the season. I was like, why is this still here? They usually get rid of their twists really quick. And then this year it's back. I'm like, no, this is terrible. I get in there. I'm like, this is a pretty awesome twist for me. Every week I get nominated, I start realizing like I'm not the target. They're just put 4 pawns up and then get the real target out the door later in the week. I get why it's good for TV. You get extra competition in there. That's cool to watch. But yeah, I was glad when it was gone. I guess thinking as a viewer of it, because it's just kind of like the pawn. You can pump up all the drama you want. The bottom line is there's pawns that go up and then the real person comes in later, except for Day. That was a weird week. But the takeover, I was just surprised. Like, where did it go? Like, I remember standing on the stage talking to Julie.
We're still trying to find it.
Yeah, she's like a new twist every week. I'm like, it's week 4. It's one of those every weeks. And where did it go? It's just 90s, and then the theme just like went away. We were never told like what happened to it. And then I get out, and you guys were never told what happened to it either. So it's like the biggest mystery ever. Like
maybe that is the ultimate twist. Is it still happening right now? Or is it still going on or not?
Big Brother 18.
Yeah, there we go. Back. It comes back, but it comes back like the very last week. It comes back.
BB Takeover. Gronk is in all season, and you can't vote him out.
Speaking of mysteries, what was the one thing that took you by surprise as being a house guest, being in the house? You're like, wow, I didn't think it was going to be like this, or I didn't think it looked like that. What were one of those things?
There are a lot of things. The ceiling looks weird.
What does the ceiling look like? Because we've heard that from a couple house guests, for people who don't know.
Black paneling and like stage lights. It doesn't look as neat as the rest of the house, and that's just something watching the show, something I never thought of. Like, oh yeah, there needs to be a ceiling there. It looks, it doesn't look nice like the rest of the house. So much downtime where you're locked inside. With them building competitions, like 4 out of the 7 days you're locked inside, which isn't like a large amount of space. There's only a few rooms in there to go to. I hated ever staying up in the HOH room. I felt like I had bad juju on it. I never wanted to be up there with the HOH. So I just stayed out of there completely. So I pretty much stayed on the first floor all the time. So yeah, the lack of space, I guess.
Now, in terms of your game over the summer, talk about maybe a couple of your favorite moves that you did here over the summer, and then maybe a couple regrets where you're like, if I had done this differently, maybe something different could have happened.
Yeah. I think if I kept Clay over Shelly, first of all, that would have been way better for my game. And I even told him, and that's what started the whole fight. Like, I think if you stay, it's better for me. Because Shelly was working a lot closer with Vanessa than Clay was, and there was a possibility maybe he would eventually break off from the Sixth Sense. I didn't know what the name was. I just knew that they hung out a lot together. So something was going on there. But now that I know the name, I'll use that. Yeah, so I should have gotten rid of Shelly. I don't regret Becky's whole Vanessa plan backfiring, because Vanessa might have come back in anyway, and then that could have like screwed me over. So the way that it actually happened, where I got evicted, but I built a bond with Vanessa before I left, that was probably the best thing that could have happened. At the time, I'm thinking, this is terrible, I'm getting evicted. But when I look back on it, like, if anything else had happened, it might not have worked.
Yeah.
Let's see. Try to go down. Probably getting rid of Meg was awesome. I was so glad that James won that veto, because I was thinking Vanessa wasn't seeing that James would be better for us moving forward. Like, the plan was get rid of Meg and then try to bring James back in to go after Austin and the twins. But I don't know if she was going for James at the beginning of the week, and luckily she was forced to get rid of Meg. I don't know. So that just a lot of things worked out really nicely. In hindsight, from Final 6 on, knowing what the competitions are, we could have taken Vanessa out at 6, but when it's pretty much Austin, the twins versus Vanessa, Steve, and myself, you don't want to take out one of your own at that point and only leave one of you playing in the next HOH, not knowing what it is. So, like, with the information I had at the time, that's still the best move I guess I could have done. So
yeah,
I would have done that.
I can personally attest to that. People, are like, why didn't you do this? And you're like, well, I didn't know that. And so, like,
yeah,
cut version as, like, essentially, like, you, the viewer, like, big brother, the person who gets to see everything. Like, hey, there's no way to possibly make that call.
Yeah.
So now that you're outside of the house, what do you think, like, the biggest adjustment back to normal life has been for you?
I've never Twittered before. This is weird. And, like, my buddy Joe ran it, and he followed all these people, and now I can't read anything anyone tweets at me. So if I don't respond to something, it's just because I can't see it.
I'm one of those, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
I actually officially, at the beginning of the summer, was Team JohnnyMac. So I made my allegiance, like, pretty early on, probably like weeks.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty good. And so I had, like, a whole team then of, like, other Big Brother people, like, with me. Oh yeah, we were super hard, like, Team JohnnyMac.
That's awesome. Thanks, guys. Whoa.
Now, you were saying you're just going back to work, right? You're a dentist going back to work on Monday. I mean, it seemed like out of all the house guests, you probably got the strongest reception. So what's that's going to be like for you, going back, just trying to jump right back in regular life when now you got all these people that are coming in to see JohnnyMac?
It's tough. The schedule is full for weeks. This is amazing. And another office near us closed, so, like, it's awesome. And since I didn't win any money, I want to get back in there and get going on it. Yeah, I'm wondering what it's going to be like. I haven't gone yet, obviously. Like, are people just going to come in and want to talk, and I'm going to be like, we gotta get something done too. I gotta stab you with the needle. So
well, here, and I was gonna give you this piece of advice. Part of the good thing for you is you're a dentist. If they talk, you put them back in the chair, shove some gauze in their mouth, and start working on them, and be able to shut them up, right?
Yeah. We gotta calm down. We gotta get the procedure done here. Take this, and I'll be back in like 5 minutes. Yeah.
Maybe some gas, put them under. You're all set to go.
We don't have that at the office. That would be nice, but
you don't have nitrous oxide. Oh man, you guys could do so much business. You could just, like, line them up and knock them out. It'd be easy peasy.
Right? Everyone loves nitrous.
Don't worry about malpractice with everything we're giving you. It'll be fine.
We'll be fine.
You are on Big Brother, okay? You can do whatever you want from this point forward. So I know you're not, like, Twitter's new to you, but where can people find you? Like, where can people find you online? Twitter, Instagram, Facebook?
Yeah, I think Twitter, it's at BB17 JohnnyMac, all one word. I think the Instagram is at Rockstar_Dentist. That's it. Facebook, I'm just kind of keeping like friends and family. That's it. But yeah, those two are the best way to go. I'm working on a YouTube channel. My one assistant at work, he's an internet guy thing guru, so he's gonna try to help me set up a YouTube channel besides the guitar one, because those are all covers. Those aren't my songs, so try to set up my own thing on there. And I don't know, I'll do a bunch of stupid stuff on there. It'll be good. We'll have fun.
That's what YouTube's all about, man.
Yeah, just doing stupid stuff. Now, the people feel like that they know you from seeing you this season, but give us one thing or maybe a couple things that you think would surprise our viewers out there about JohnnyMac.
Couple surprises. Let's see. Did I talk about Rondell the mouse in there?
I don't think so. What is that? No.
I don't think we've heard about Rondell.
Rondell? Okay. Yeah, when I was living in Philly, we had this row house. It was me and 3 other guys in my class, and I found a mouse one night, and I could have killed it and set out a trap. I was like, oh, my friend Turner, he's scared of anything that's really small and crawls around, so I let him live, and I named him Rondell, and we'd hang out at night, and then finally he scares Turner. I'm like, yes, the plan worked. This is awesome. And Turner's like, you asshole. I'm not talking to you for a while. I was like, all right, good. It was a success. So I go out to get some mouse traps, and I start realizing there's like 50 Rondells now, so I probably should have killed them while I had the chance. If I could go back, I wouldn't do things the same. That was a good time.
Look at this.
It's like regretting gameplay.
Rockstar Dennis, Big Brother house guest.
Animal activist.
And slash exterminator.
And
exterminator.
So versatile.
Yeah.
We keep learning about JohnnyMac every time we talk.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh,
you let them run amok. Yeah, they do. I like skiing. I like skiing and golfing. Yeah, I don't know. I talked about a lot of shit in there.
What so other than dentistry, what is next for JohnnyMac? Like, do you have anything planned now? Like Big Brother, you see this reaction, you see how the world kind of opens up to you. Is there anything you want to do? Like, you want to take a trip? Do you want to like do a tour? Like anything in this realm?
Nick, I'm money hungry right now. I have 240 grand in debt. I don't take trips. I don't do that. Maybe someday when I'm out of the hole, then maybe I will. But right now, I can't do anything too expensive. Yeah, I'm going back to work. I missed the application deadline for specializing, so I can't apply to any specialty programs this year. Maybe next year I'll try. If that's still what I want to go, more teeth. I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna try the YouTube thing and see how that works out, and go from there.
Well,
make some cool songs. Why not?
I will definitely be a subscriber to the JohnnyMac channel.
Yeah, same.
I think you should open up a celebrity dentist office. So you could be like, hey, look, I got this. Like, I was on Big Brother. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So you bring in other like reality TV people who need work done, and then you can just bring in like, the regular folk who want to be a part of the mix. Like, I think this is a brilliant idea.
Not bad.
Yeah. And I'll only take 20% for the idea. Okay?
All right, that's it. All right, that's fine. That's pretty good. How do I screen people? Like, hey, you verified on Twitter? I don't know if you could be here right now.
You just hire Robin Cass. You say, hey man, like, I got another gig for you.
Yeah, right.
And speaking of money, you must have been upset that Jason pulled, or who got America's favorite player?
James.
That James upset you and got America's favorite player.
I didn't know it was an upset.
It was an upset.
I was upset that I didn't win. I didn't know it was an upset.
Oh, it was definitely upset. Okay, just to fill you in real quick, the way things went down, Big Brother 17 towards the end, like finale, like final 3 on, everyone's like mind exploded because nobody thought it was going to go the way it did, including America's favorite player. If I had $1 million, I'd have been like, it's JohnnyMac.
Yeah, you were basically the shoe-in to get America's favorite player.
100%.
So it was surprising that James got it.
I knew the crowd response when I got evicted, but I knew he was probably way better on the feeds because I was angry most of the time, whereas he was running around playing pranks. So I figured he definitely had some following from that. I didn't realize both of our Twitters were so big because we didn't really have them going into the house. So that was just weird. But yeah, when he won, I was like, well, yeah, he was a funny guy in the feeds, and I wasn't, so I wasn't surprised. But then, yeah, okay, this is different.
Yeah, man,
right.
Definitely. All right, well.
Yeah. We don't have any cash to give you, Johnny, unfortunately. But we're
I gotta go earn it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
Right?
We're very thankful you could come on. You were super entertaining all summer. Thank you so much for being
thanks,
out.
guys.
Absolutely, man.
And keeping it fun, keeping it light, keeping it entertaining.
It will be a memorable season due to the one and only Rockstar Dentist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guitar solo.
I love all your quirks and everything. Like did you even know that you were this quirky going into the house, or now watching it and hearing it back now, are you like, man, I've got some quirks, but they were really endearing, and they have been endearing to people?
Yeah, me and my friends, we're weird. Like my undergrad friends, they're weird. My ones from dental school, they're weird. Yeah, it's just like, this is just how we hang out. I guess it wasn't until I got into the process that they're like, you're an oddball. they told me repeatedly.
If there's an application for the Weird Posse, I would like to file it as soon as possible. I'd like to be included.
Yeah, I think it's easy, right? Shoo it.
Awesome, man. Well, dude, thank you so much, man. We really appreciate you coming on the show.
Oh, thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, JohnnyMac.
If you like this video, click here to subscribe. New videos every week.